So, what's the one skill that really separates the most successful people from everybody else? I'll tell you what it's not. It's not just what you know. It's how fast you can learn new things. I mean, in a world that's changing constantly, the ability to learn quickly is a genuine superpower. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how you can get it.
And this idea is so crucial. Just think about it for a second. You need a new skill for that promotion, or maybe a new language for a trip you've been dreaming about, or heck, just trying to keep up with new technology. In every case, your learning speed is what gives you the edge. And the best part? This is not about some raw, innate talent. It's a skill. It's about having the right strategy.
So, what is the secret sauce? Well, the key to this whole superpower is a concept called meta-learning. And no, it's not about cramming flashcards or pulling all-nighters. It's actually the skill of learning how you learn. Think of it as the playbook for the game of learning, a strategic framework that makes the entire process way more efficient, so you can pick up skills faster than you ever thought possible.
Okay, before we jump into the specific tactics, we have to look under the hood a little bit. What is actually happening inside your brain when you try to learn something new? Well, it really just boils down to two key biological things.
So your learning is driven by two main engines. First, you've got neuroplasticity. Your brain is quite literally like a muscle. Every single time you practice a skill, you are physically strengthening the connections between your neurons. It's like doing reps at the gym, but for your mind. But all that hard work needs fuel, right? And that's where dopamine comes in. It's your brain's reward chemical. It's that little good job hit you get when you make progress. But here's the catch. When your progress stalls, that dopamine rush, it just dries up.
Now, keeping those two engines in mind, the wiring and the reward, it turns out that learning basically anything, whether it's guitar, a new language, coding, you name it, it follows a very predictable four-stage journey.
The journey always kicks off with discomfort. You know the feeling. Everything's new, it's awkward, you feel clumsy, but if you push through that, you hit the improvement stage. Now, this is the fun part. You're making progress fast, your confidence is building, and that sweet dopamine is flowing. And then, you hit a wall. Stage 3, the plateau. Progress just seems to stop, and this right here is where the real danger is.
So if this path is so clear, if it's so predictable, what's the one point where most people get filtered out? I mean, where do all our ambitions to learn a new skill go to die?
Yep, the plateau. Remember that awesome dopamine rush from the improvement stage? Well, this is where the well runs dry. You've gotten the basics down, but now getting better means grinding out these tiny, frustrating details. It feels like you're spinning your wheels going nowhere. Your motivation just evaporates. And this is the exact moment most people quit.
So the big question is, how do we smash through that plateau? Well, our first tactic isn't about working harder. It's about working a whole lot smarter. It's called the 80-20 rule.
Here is the absolute secret behind the 80-20 rule. In almost any skill you can think of, a tiny 20% of your effort will deliver a massive 80% of the results. So your goal isn't just to put in more hours. It's to ruthlessly identify and focus only on that critical 20%.
Let's look at some real-world examples. Say you want to learn a new language. Don't try to memorize a dictionary, just focus on the 1,000 most common words. And boom, you'll be conversational. Or say you want to learn the drums. Forget all the flashy, complex techniques at first. Just focus on learning to read a basic lead sheet. Master that, and you can play along to almost any song you hear. Finding that key 20% is the ultimate shortcut to getting good fast.
Okay, our second tactic is a simple but really powerful psychological trick. If you really want to learn something deeply, you have to try and teach it. The act of just explaining a concept to somebody else forces you to organize your own thoughts, and it instantly shines a spotlight on what you don't actually know.
And here's the cool neuroscience behind why this works. Your brain is like a ruthless editor. Every night, especially while you sleep, it throws out anything it thinks is unimportant. But when you force yourself to organize a concept and explain it, you're sending this massive signal to your brain that says, hey, pay attention. This is important. This is survival information. And that signal is what moves knowledge from your fragile short-term memory into permanent, long-term storage.
Tactic number 3 is all about ending the guesswork. See, trying to learn in a vacuum is incredibly slow and inefficient.
To really accelerate your progress, you have to create a tight, effective feedback loop because you simply can't improve what you don't measure.
Okay, imagine two people are trying to learn how to meditate. Person A, they just read some articles online and kind of hope for the best. But person B, they use a special headband that gives them real-time feedback on their brainwaves. They know the exact moment their focus starts to drift. So who's going to learn faster? I mean, it's not even a fair fight, right? Person B has an immediate, accurate loop telling them exactly what's working and what's not.
So what this really means is you have to get proactive. You have to find a mentor or a teacher who actually gets what you're trying to do. And then you have to stay curious, ask a ton of questions, and don't ever be afraid to nag them for their input. Just remember this. Good, useful feedback is almost never just offered up freely. It has to be hunted down.
Our final two tactics. You know, these are arguably the most powerful of all because they're not about what you do on the outside, but what you say to yourself on the inside. This is all about winning the inner game of learning, and it all comes down to two crucial mindset shifts.
The first big shift is about identity. Look at the classic example with smoking. Person A says, "I'm trying to quit." You hear that? Their identity is still a smoker who is struggling. But person B says, "I am a non-smoker." They've completely adopted a new identity, and that makes the right choice automatic. You have to apply this to your own goal. You're not someone who's trying to learn how to code. You are a coder. But you can't just declare a new identity and call it a day. Your brain is a skeptic. It needs proof. It runs on cold, hard evidence. So you have to manufacture that evidence. You have to start celebrating every single small win, no matter how tiny it seems. Each little success is another piece of data you can hand your brain, proving, "See, I told you. I am the kind of person who does this."
And this brings us to the final and maybe the most important mindset of all. This is the one that's going to carry you through that dreaded plateau. Learning is supposed to be uncomfortable. You have to be willing to feel a little dumb to get smarter. You have to feel frustrated. But here's the secret that changes everything. That feeling isn't a sign that you're failing. It is the ultimate sign of growth. It means you've pushed yourself to the very edge of your abilities, and that's the only place where real learning can ever happen.